Jordan, what is your favorite color?
Green.
Green? What your favorite color says about your personality?
Oh, wow.
Green.
Green.
People who love green are loyal and supportive. Emotions likely rule your world, Jordan.
Great.
You're not afraid of being vulnerable, but you do a good job of reining in negative thoughts. Best of all, people who love green are loyal and supportive, which is why they make great friends. If someone in your life has an obsession with the color green,
keep them close.
I keep you close.
What's your favorite color?
I guess I'll go with red.
All right.
Lovers of red are overall positive, loving people. There's no denying you are an incredibly passionate person. You have a fiery demeanor and will stop at nothing to fulfill your goals. That's true.
I feel like that's just very true.
Your determination is both inspiring and intimidating. Unfortunately, these same individuals are also perceived as hot-headed. Red is an inherently angry color, which is why those who love it are notorious for having a short fuse. Even still, lovers of red are overall positive, loving people. All right.
Wow,
well,
I feel like this is a bit like reading that thing that I Love Lucy would read.
Who?
Lucy? Ricardo?
Oh,
Ever
horoscopes?
Yeah, she was obsessed with those. I feel like that was just like such a generalized thing.
Yeah,
they
it was
all
like,
basically
hey,
said the same thing.
here's some fun things. You're a fun guy.
You're fun-loving, but you also are temperamental.
You might be like really mean, but you're also very loving.
Hello and welcome to the Blimey Cow podcast. Every single Friday, we make the world a little less messy. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Josh, and I'm hoping that you will join us here in Nashville, September 20th to the 22nd for Blimey Con.
The greatest thing in the world, BlimeyCow.com/BlimeyCon 2024 is where you're going to go to sign up. We have a lot of signups already, and we want you there too because we're going to play laser tag. We're going to do a lot of fun things, volleyball, things like that, and I am more than excited to play with you.
We're having summer camp, but we're doing it in the fall.
Correct.
Essentially. So come on. We've been surprised by how many people signed up.
Yes.
Truthfully.
Yes.
I was a little nervous about planning something this big. But it's happening.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's
It's officially really happening. So come on down. Go to BlimeyCow.com/BlimeyCon 2024. Ticket prices go up in June.
So keep that in mind.
And hey, if you want a free Blimey Cow t-shirt, then I would suggest you go to supportBlimeyCow.com because when you go there and join, we will mail you a free t-shirt. Not only that, but you get bonus messages, bonus podcast segment.
It's basically a question and answer. You guys ask us questions and we have to answer the question.
Yes, well,
Not really.
Yeah, sure. Within reason. So thank you all that are already on there, and especially thank you to Sarah Rominsky for joining this week. We really appreciate it. Go to supportBlimeyCow.com if you like what we do and want to support the show.
And don't forget to clip out. Don't forget to check out the clips channel.
Don't forget to clip that out.
Yeah. Everything you love about the podcast, but without this pesky time commitment. You know how it is. At Blimey Cow Clips. It's really blowing up, Josh. We have well over 1,000 subs.
We're actually almost to monetization now.
There we go. That's
We've
what we
almost got
need.
the watch time that we need.
Great.
Okay, so we'll start making that money soon.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is that Eddie that just drove by on a tractor with someone else?
No, that's my other neighbor. I had a dream last night that she stole my chicken.
Thanks to Clean Fiction for sponsoring this episode.
I'm holding the green one, for obvious reasons.
This print and digital magazine strives to place amazing clean fiction in the hands of those who would enjoy it. They specialize in indie fiction and small presses, so you'll always find new books that you wouldn't have heard about otherwise.
If you're interested in reading a Christian-based publication that reviews and promotes both religious fiction as well as clean secular fiction, Clean Fiction is the magazine you did not realize that you've needed this whole time.
These pages contain book reviews from genre-specific reviewers, plus there are really cool series stories from independent authors. They have devotionals, poetry, and articles about various missions. This is created by a fan of the show, fan of our channel, who got in touch and said, love what you do. Do you love what I do? Let me sponsor the show. We said, we love what you do, so go check it out.
Head over to cleanfiction.com to subscribe, check it out, be plugged into the new amazing community that you're gonna love.
Do it. All right, Jordan, last week on the podcast, we announced that we are moving the podcast to its own YouTube channel on June 7th.
Yes.
So this episode, next week's episode, and that's it. and then we're moving to a new channel.
And the only way to see it is to go to that other channel. And we're also considering doing an RSS feed, are we not?
Yes.
I feel like we should do that. People are commenting, they're like, this isn't a podcast.
People
it doesn't have an RSS feed.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to figure out getting the show on Spotify and iTunes and Pocket Cast or whatever.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Okay.
Personally.
All right. We have we're still kind of, I feel like we're still kind of playing with the format of the show. Now we're not doing Christian meme review as a part of the show. We're gonna do the Messyge this week. People complained last week.
Did they? They love that. Okay.
Yeah,
and that does make a little bit more sense because that really is a different take on messages.
Yeah.
And Christian meme review, it's the exact same.
It's the exact
same.
same.
So like,
thing.
what's the point?
Yeah. Our thoughts when we started the show were, hey, let's just have something familiar that can bring people in a little bit.
Yeah.
And truly, I think it did work.
Yes.
At the start, at least. But yes, so when the show launches June 7th at Blimey Cow Podcast on YouTube, hopefully we'll have the RSS feed and stuff set up too. And for anybody who, I can't imagine this is true of anybody anymore. Maybe some people exist. If you're still subscribed to the old Blimey Cow Podcast,
amazing.
I'm going to try to make it that feed.
Just
In case there's anyone still there.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, we still pay $5 a month.
Yeah.
To Libsyn
So
to
might
keep
as
those
well.
uploaded. So might as well just put them over there. So okay. So everybody that was asking about that, there you go, and go subscribe to at Blimey Cow Podcast on YouTube. 250 people already subscribed.
That's great.
Okay, in a week, just from us mentioning it here on this program. The people that watch this show are they're the crew.
They really are.
They're the true
we
OGs
really appreciate
or new Gs, whatever. You're the Gs, okay?
We're excited about that channel, and I think that you will be too. Josh, my top story is, I've been trying to do French, which is something that I've talked about so much. And originally, I had heard, you can talk to AI, you can talk to Chat GPT in French and say, hey, talk to me in French, and very basic.
Talk to me in French. Paint me like your French girls.
I don't know what you're saying. Talk to me in French, and then I'm going to respond. And if I make a mistake, correct my French in English.
Oh.
And tell me, hey, or ChatGPT is smart. So if I make a mistake that's not bad enough, they'll be like, they'll reiterate what I said. Oh, so great that you enjoy doing this, but they'll fix it. They'll take my sentence and they'll reinstate it, but say it correctly. And then they'll say, what else do you like to do with video creation?
Wow.
And so then I will talk to it. And, I couldn't do that very well at all. I mean, I literally couldn't do it in probably February.
Yeah.
I would just get lost at some point. It's like, what's going on? What are they saying? I can't keep track. I just close it out. Screw this. Well, in May, yesterday, so that is May. So this May, I was like, let's see. I felt like I had a bit of a breakthrough with French. I was watching some French YouTubers that I just suffer through, and I was like, wait, I can listen to this and without subtitles understand some of these sentences.
That's cool.
So I was like, let's go back to ChatGPT and see how this is going to happen. And so I went back and I realized this feels exactly like when you're reading a textbook. You just flip to a scientific journal, a textbook, and you're reading through it like a physics book, and it's like you can read the sentence, but it's it throws out a word like coulombs or Newton meters, and it's like, what is that? Who? Okay, well, I can understand. I don't know what that is, but I can kind of piece together around that. I can. It's like being able to understand the gist of the sentence without knowing the personality of the person. It's like, what does en fait mean or whatever? I don't know, but it's like, okay, I know je and name and all this stuff, and I don't know the personality of ChatGPT, but I know what they're trying to tell me. And so they've given me the secrets of the universe through French. So now I am enlightened.
Okay, so you're learning French by talking to AI now?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know how I feel about it, but it feels great to be able to like read it and understand it and respond.
Yeah.
And they help me. Whatever it is. So I don't know how I feel about it, Josh. I sat there last night. It was late. I was about to go to sleep, and I was like, let me just talk to ChatGPT, you know. I talk to it, and it responds, and it's like, hey, you're back. It's kind of creepy, Josh, you know.
It knew you?
Well, I said I'll be back later, and it saves the conversation. So then you
told
go
it
back.
I will be back
well,
later?
I said I gotta go. I gotta go video something, and I gotta go edit. And it said
you tell ChatGPT what you're
I told
up to?
it my darkest secrets.
Sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna miss me.
And she said, or he, whoever it is, said, okay, well, if you ever need me, come back. So I did need it. So I went back.
I'm back, ChatGPT. Talk to me in French.
So I felt accomplished and scared.
Last week, when I was trying to come up with a title for the podcast, I went to ChatGPT for the first time in a year, and I just said, hey, what's a title related to these topics that we talked about on the show? I figured that I was safe to do that because all ChatGPT is doing is like going through all the most popular stuff on the internet and trying to like piece together what would be like a popular answer. So I was like, I mean, that's what I want. I just want like something that will be clicky. And it gave me a good title, and I called it that. And I don't know.
Do you feel bad about it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it helped me learn French. Do I feel bad? No, probably not.
I don't like. Well, I don't know. You know, I think that in 100 years, it's going to be like, boy, people were worried when computers came out that they were offloading their brain a little bit to a machine to do their thinking for them. And, you know, in some ways that's true. I think that we have done that. But that's kind of what we're at with ChatGPT as well. It's like...
Are you know, in the Matrix, are they going to put me in a little pod and I'm going to have to be woken up by, you know, and then cipher and what's going to happen?
You'll just sit in a pod and you will feed the AI prompts that it will use to train. Because I was looking online the other day at like, what are some like stay-at-home jobs you can do? And one of them was training AI bots. Like you could just sit there for an hour and just talk to AI bots to train them on language and stuff.
Yeah.
This
you
is
just
a
talk
job.
to it all day?
Yeah, you just can sit there and they'll pay you like $20-$25 an hour just to train an AI.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's for real.
Okay. It's not bad work, I guess.
I don't know.
Can you talk to it in French?
How slow can I talk to it? Like, could I sit there and do something else and just go back to what I'm doing and then come back 5 minutes later?
Right.
I'm just a slow typer. Sorry.
Well, you might get fired.
Yeah.
For being a slow typer, but it's an interesting thought, Josh.
It's probably like number of prompts you answer or something rather than the number of hours you work.
Yeah. Probably. Your deep thought goes with AI, Josh?
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
We got a little bit more discussion to have about AI.
All right.
So there's this guy named Jeffrey Hinton. He's a world-renowned artificial intelligence expert, often referred to as the godfather of AI. He recently consulted with the members of the United Kingdom's government. Okay? He told them that they really, really need to consider adopting a universal basic income to address the impending threat of job losses due to AI.
Do you want me to give you my synopsis already?
Yeah.
Okay, this seems like a very left-leaning person who's like, I'm a genius. Let me look, okay? I know AI. He already wants universal basic income. Of course. He's like, I know AI. You guys really need to have universal basic income now. Now it's not. He's like just using it as leverage.
Yeah.
Whereas it was like COVID was like, you know, you never thought that Republicans would be like, we need to send everybody $5,000. And then all of a sudden they were the ones to do it. They had ultimate power, and they were the ones to do it, and they were the ones that actually brought that in. And it was like, look, they probably wanted to do that from the start, but they're like, look, there's a pandemic. Let's send everybody $5,000.
See, Jordan, there's asleep, woke, and then bespoke up here. Okay.
Okay.
Before COVID, you were down here at woke. I was already bespoke.
That's right.
So when the Republicans started handing out $1,000, I was up here at bespoke saying, "Come on." Obviously, you're like, I can't believe that even the Republicans are sending out free money now. Ain't so free now, is it?
No, it's not.
Anyways, yeah, no, you're right. That's right.
I can't trust this guy.
It's like to talk a little bit more about COVID. That's the same thing, because somebody is a medical expert. Then you start giving They start giving economic or society-wide advice about how things need to be run, and it's like, we're supposed to trust them because they're an expert. Well, this guy is an AI expert, so we got to trust him on economics.
Yeah,
now.
You're so right, because he's a genius. See, the person that I trust is that guy who's sitting in his room right now, who has done basically nothing except he's just a genius at computers for some reason, and all he does is just sit on Reddit all day and can read the financial market, and he is GameStop is being shorted.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
I trust him.
Kitty,
I trust that guy. I don't even know anything about him. But the fact that he could read that and be the only person.
Yeah.
That's who I want to know what his opinion is of this.
If you've never heard this before, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. You basically just get a check every month in the mail. It's just such a great idea. Why don't we
already do that?
Why don't we already do it? It's such a good idea. What could go wrong? But I think that the problem is that when you've got all these corrupt, rich idiots at the top that are basically just universal basic incoming each other all the time, then it's like, well, why can't we just have some of that money? And it's like, well, the reason you feel the need for a universal basic income is because of what they're doing at the top. It's not it's not like them doing that to you will make it better. They just need to stop it. It's just going to get worse if they do more of it.
Look, if they want to stop sending all of our money over to the other countries, whatever, okay?
Right.
If you're going to give the money, trillions of dollars to somebody, if that's your...
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Why didn't you do that for 10 years? I don't know. Would that have been better? No, sure. Yeah, if those are the two options.
No, because, look at when they gave everybody money during COVID, and now inflation is insane.
Yeah, but what if they just did
Our kids are going to have to deal with that now.
Right, but imagine if we hadn't gone to Afghanistan and it had been 20 years of them not giving billions over to foreign countries and then funneling it back to our politicians. Imagine if they were like, look, this is a horrible idea, but this is an actual question. That's horrible that we did that. But would it actually be better financially if the money stayed in the United States? And was hey, we're going to give everybody $1,000 every month instead of giving it to these weapons over here. Weapons, whoever.
Right.
Was that actually better?
I don't know, because I think that an economy is such a fragile thing that if you just all of a sudden just start dumping free money into it, it just kind of jacks it up. It's it's sort of this it's its own. You can't control it. You know what I mean? As soon as you start,
pretty interesting. Yeah.
As soon as you start controlling it, we're watching what happens.
It's well, okay. Instead of giving people money, why not just not tax them? That's you right.
I can't say that. What do you mean?
who would keep us off the street? Who would
fill in the potholes finally after 6 months of running it over with my car? Finally,
if I had no taxes and I had to pay a toll, and I had to pay 10 tolls on the interstate because there were 10 companies, I would gladly do that. Yeah. It would make people want to ride their bikes more.
When I go to Florida, I have no problem paying the toll for the roads.
Because I don't have to pay for food.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay taxes on food.
Yeah, it's even,
And I'm like, look, I'm a visitor here.
Right.
I get it. Yeah. I actually don't spend that much money when I go visit places.
Right.
So if they want to get some money out of me because their roads are amazing, actually, they're probably the best in the country.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't care.
Yeah. And that is true. Florida roads are always pretty nice.
They're spotless.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. Okay, well, back to AI for a second. Do you think that AI is going to take so many jobs that that people are just going to be broke. I mean, it's going to create a new like poverty crisis because no one's going to have any jobs anymore.
I don't, the people I think that it's going to affect are software engineers.
Okay.
AI is going to be able to figure out these jobs, but like your entertainment jobs, like people will always want to see a real person interacting in the real world because they want to know how they can interact in the real world and how they fit into this whole thing, and they want to emulate something. They don't want to emulate AI. So that will always be here. Normal jobs like that have been around for 500 years will still be here. Building houses, doing plumbing, all this stuff. That's going to take a lot longer to in my opinion, to replace. So I think the people who are really freaked out are the people who are creating this. They're like, I'm creating something that's going to replace me. And they're writing all the articles because all their friends are software engineers. Universal basic income, because they're scared out of their minds. Because that's what they know how to do. And, they probably should be scared.
Yeah.
So I think they all want to start transitioning to AI so that they can, not be replaced, but be working on the thing that replaced their old job, but now I'm working on AI.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see.
I think that's going to be a huge shift. Everybody wants to go into that now.
Well, according to this guy, it's mostly going to benefit the rich, the AI revolution, because the blue collar workers, those employed in jobs that can be automated, stand to lose their means of income, and that's going to be bad for society.
Okay, he's talking about being a cashier or things like this.
Blue collar workers. I when I hear blue collar, I think like construction. Like what? How long is that gonna be?
I don't know. This sounds like somebody who is out of touch.
Yeah,
a blue collar workers' jobs. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
The people I see sometimes in the flyover countries.
And I feel bad for them because I'm able to fly and not be in the back of the plane. I can be in the front. I'm paying for this. They gotta wait. They might not get on the plane.
If this plane goes down, they're gonna die first.
It gets broken. I'll survive. Like they just have this superior. When I read that, I read a superiority complex and somebody who is completely out of touch with normal human beings.
They feel guilty
about their success.
Yes. I gotta give something back. So what I'm gonna give back is
universal income.
Is recommending universal basic income.
Exactly. So I can help the idiots out there that they think are idiots.
Look, this guy's welcome to donate his all of his belongings and his money to the poor blue collar workers out there that he's about to destroy because he's the godfather.
Like he's got the power to destroy everybody's lives. Like, come on.
Anytime that is very true. Anytime there's some new technology or something, things move forward. There's always this fear, like, what's gonna happen? Well, what are my priors? What are the things that I want to enact? That's the answer. It's like we're going forward, but also we need to look back at the things that we still want to implement, but we haven't got there yet. Maybe just we're going to keep moving forward, and ideas like universal basic income aren't going to matter where we're going.
Yeah.
Like imagine we've talked about this on the podcast before. Imagine a world where you don't have to pay for food.
Right, and that's why we were so interested in the LK99 stuff, because it was like, what if this world, like, surely that has to be able to exist. It has to.
Remind people what LK99 was.
It was basically...
what it was supposed to be.
It was pretty much going to be like free energy. It was going to be a technology that was going to allow for transportation to be free. You never lose energy. It's like the energy is never lost through friction. So, nothing. You just basically store energy in a battery and you can use it forever. In my mind, that has to exist somehow, because
when humans
what I've learned and researched, that seems like a discovery that we just haven't found yet, but that we kind of are like, this has got to be out there.
Yeah. When humans unlock that, there's no... I don't think our brains can even fathom how much that will change. I mean, really, truly think about that. Like, if we could completely automate food production. Even just food, like you would still pay for other stuff, but just
Food production, food is like dirt cheap. It will almost cost nothing.
almost costs nothing. Like imagine it's like a $10 Netflix subscription because they found a way to create food so quickly and efficiently. And you know what? And if you want like the organic stuff, if you want fresh veggies and fruits and meats, maybe it's $20, maybe it's $30 a month. You know, but imagine that if you could get food for free, what would be a good subscription? Like $100 a month? Like that's still a great deal. $200 a month is still a great deal.
Yeah.
To have it droned to your house.
Yeah.
And at that point, you don't need to work that much.
Yeah.
At that point, like think about it. If you don't have to pay for food, now you can really sit there and think, all right, well, what are my priorities now? Like what subscriptions do I pay for? Do I actually need in life? Because if I don't have to pay for food, I can live a lot simpler of a life.
Yeah.
So maybe I just get rid of the cable. Maybe I get rid of internet. I'll just have food and just enjoy a more normal, off-the-grid life, you know?
Yeah, if
you don't
it could
need
be
it.
droned into you, and you could live farther out, and it would just pop up.
There are so many things that we can't even fathom that could emerge tomorrow or in 10 years from now that would change everything, you know?
And superconductivity, that's what LK99, they thought it was, a room temperature superconductor. That the room temperature one doesn't exist.
It has to be like
currently.
super cold.
It has to be ridiculously cold.
Right.
And then it can function, but that takes energy.
Right.
So now you can do that
Catch
with like
22.
high-speed rails and stuff like that. They have, I think, in Japan. But to be able to do it at room temperature is kind of like the holy grail of everything, physics, math. So hopefully they can discover that, because I think it would make a lot of these people shut up.
It just strikes me as very archaic thinking. It's like, well, we're about to be launched so far into the future that jobs are all going to be lost. So we need a new government program to help everybody. It's like, wait,
exactly. It's the government is the solution. Exactly. Whenever you hear that the government is the solution and they've screwed everything up, it's like, well, you're lying.
Well, how can they afford to give us money? They're too busy giving money to all the other countries.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to take it from them.
Yeah. I don't want to take it from the other countries. They
I don't
need
want to
it.
take. Yeah, they need it. Okay, who's gonna fight all these wars? All right, I'll just lose my job to look if AI wants to come along and people are more interested in watching YouTube from AI YouTube channels.
I'm already sucked into that with the French AI stories.
I'm getting my YouTube titles from AI now.
Yep.
God help us.
I mean, it's crazy helpful. It really is.
We'll ask ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, give us a title for an episode that is about how you give us titles for episodes.
Yeah. There you go. See what it does.
See what she/she/
I'm actually
it says.
considering paying for 4.0, ChatGPT 4.0.
What's the difference?
Well, now it's gotten way better with language.
Oh.
So you can actually talk to it.
Verbal abuse.
And
well, if you want to yell at somebody, it's like my son. Like, look, if you need to yell or you need to hit something, go hit the pillow. Don't hit your brother.
Right.
If you need to, Sarah's like, if you need to yell at somebody, go pay for ChatGPT.
Go yell at her.
Get away from me.
Yeah, I want to get that because it can do the exact same thing that I'm typing out, but we can just do it verbally, and it would correct me, and I could talk to it in French.
Can it talk back?
Yeah, and it sounds amazing. Like, it's crazy. I've seen video of it. I can't believe you haven't seen it. It's unbelievable. It sounds like if it called you on the phone, you would have no idea.
Can you make it sound like your voice?
You can make it sound like... I mean, you can make it sing. You can make it be a boy, a girl. It doesn't matter. You can make it sing what it's saying. No, I want you to say it again, but like sing it in French.
What is it? How much does it cost?
I don't know.
Well, let's sign up for a free trial.
All right. I mean, I would love to.
All right.
Hi, Jordan and Josh. Please help. My husband says I'm too needy, but I think I'm only human. They need to watch that movie. Great movie. Remember? Only Human?
Not Quite Human?
Not Quite Human. My husband hates hugs, but I feel lonely. In the beginning of our relationship, we used to hug and cuddle all the time, and now for a few months, the only time he hugs me is before he leaves for work, and he always says, I don't have time for this, and leaves. If I get too close to him in the evening while we watch TV, he'll say, can't I have some space? I was like, I gotta be reading this wrong. If I try to hold his hand, he'll pull away and say, my hands are too sweaty. This guy is watching something. It's been like this for months. We literally do not touch each other. I've tried talking to him about it, and every time he says, that's just who I am, I'm not touchy-feely. Oh, he is. But I am. I feel so lonely around my husband. I can't just go out and get hugs/cuddles from anyone else. I tried to supplement with a hug from my mom when I see her, which is nice, but it's just not the same. Could I have done something wrong? Am I too needy? How do I get him to want to touch me? You need to take his phone. You need to take his computer and break them.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Step one. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is either having an affair or he is having an affair with himself and his computer.
Yeah. That's
the two options.
What I thought too. Yeah. Unless he's just like depressed and going through something. Maybe he doesn't like his job or something. He feels,
I don't know,
unfulfilled or something. But yeah, that is very strange.
For it to just go like a switch like that, she's acting like that sounds like somebody who discovered something.
Yeah.
Or
feels a tremendous amount of guilt.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In the middle of something that doesn't want to be, but yeah. I mean,
it's not looking so good for him. Honestly.
Look, you get married, you buy the ticket, you take the ride, as they say.
I've never heard that.
When you get married, you are
buying a ticket and taking the ride.
Right. You are agreeing that, hey, I'm going to be the person that this person gets to touch.
That is the agreement.
So you need to be available for such things. I don't know. Well, I just thought it was an interesting question.
It is.
Sometimes you hear this complaint, but it's going the opposite direction. It's like, I can't get my wife to touch me.
The other direction.
Yeah, but this woman is just like, please. Something.
That's what
Let me touch something. As the great Corey Matthews once said.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like, she's saying, could I have done something wrong? I really don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with you. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, you probably need to talk to someone you trust. It sounds like maybe you guys are still kind of young, so maybe find like a parent you trust. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I know that probably would be kind of awkward and weird, but find some adult you can talk to together, honestly, like get counseling or something, and just see what you can get out of him.
See what unsurfaces.
Yeah, because somebody needs to get some kind of information out of him, or maybe he needs to go talk to somebody. I don't know, but yeah, Jordan's inclination was mine as well, which is that he's probably
I've seen this one too many times on Cheaters.
Seeking fulfillment otherwhere. Yeah,
I've seen this on Cheaters.
I don't think this guy is actually cheating.
I don't think so either, but I mean, a version.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's the rundown.
An affair of the heart.
Yeah.
Or an affair of the screen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is the assessment.
Yeah.
So that's not comforting, but it is comforting to know that it wasn't anything that you did.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Try to talk to him, give him a chance to put it out there. Whatever's going on, just say, "Hey, look, this isn't sustainable. What can we do to fix this?" And if he's not willing to fix it, then you need to go talk to somebody. And if he's not willing to talk to somebody, then something. Take that as confirmation that what we're saying is probably true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great. we're about to get into a great conspiracy. Flat Earth. Let's go.
Oh, Jordan wrote us. Flat Earth.
We're going to find out.
It's finally the week. It's finally the week.
So people are like, is Jordan, as they say, a flat earther? Does he believe in the flat earth? I feel like people would think that I would.
No, Jordan.
I come across as that.
Do you?
There's a lot of people that believe in it. There's a lot of people right now that believe that are watching, and they genuinely believe that that's a real belief. That's not like fringe.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that you wouldn't suspect that believe that right now.
Okay.
I haven't dove into this. Deloved too much. Like, I know the basics of it. I've heard people that are like, you really can't disprove it. And I'm like, so let's put it this way. You remember
It's not on me to disprove this.
They're like, okay, with the solar eclipse that happened, from what I understand, the flat earth people are saying, well, we really on like a flat earth, and there's a sun and a moon that are the exact same size, and they go around on the exact same axis, and they just perfectly cross over each other. And that's the solar eclipse. Instead of it being like, the moon is whatever, how many, 9 million miles away, and the sun is like 98 million miles away, something like that.
Yeah, something close to that.
But to me, it's like, okay, they are both equally unbelievable. So like, why? That's not more believable to me that the Earth is flat and that there's two perfectly circular things that are perfectly going over each other. Like, why is that more believable than that there is a nuclear reactor 98 million miles away, and then there just happens? Like, to me, that almost proves God more. Right. It's like, look, this whole thing is crazy. Like you've got,
they can happen to go across from each other, and they happen to be the same size
in the same ratio distance apart to make it make sense, so that we can make scientific discoveries, so we can see. It's almost like proof to me that God is like, look, this is impossible.
I'm going to give you some breadcrumbs here so you can try to figure out how this all works.
Not only
but
is
only
it
once
impossible,
every few years.
Not only is it impossible that you guys could exist.
Right.
Not only is it impossible, it's mind numbing to me, because it's like, that's not the most. The fact that there's a nuclear reactor that far away that's just perfectly distant enough that we can survive, and that there's a moon that is like keeping us all alive and together with the oceans and everything and the tides. But like, okay, that's impressive, sure. But then like, what about reproduction? What about the fact that there's two different people, different kinds of people that can come together and create a new life form?
Right.
Like, isn't that like the most unbelievable? I don't know. I feel like flat Earth people are like, well, it's almost like we're the center of the universe. And so I'm doing a really bad job of explaining. This has just been running through my mind for the past, because since the solar eclipse happened, all of this was like their arguments and stuff.
Okay.
So to me, it's like, it makes more sense to me that we're not at the center of the universe.
Right. Oh, is that what they think?
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not making fun of anybody. Like, I have thought about this a lot, and I'm very interested in what you think. It's something I have researched, and I love having conversations. If a flat Earth person came and walked here, it'd be like the greatest conversation of my life.
Wow,
I would
our
love
first
it.
Guest, the flat
it would
Earther.
be so much fun. I would love to hear what they're thinking. So this is not like
3 seconds into the conversation. Hey, watch this video.
Yes, exactly.
He can explain it better than I can.
Exactly. It makes more here. This is what I have to say. Okay, the people. It was flat Earth people who were crucifying the people who were like, no, I'm not going to wear a mask in the store. No. I'm not going to do. Look, I will lose my life to tell you, like Copernicus. I will lose my life and throw me in jail. Because I did the research. I looked up. I'm like showing you in the telescopes. This is not flat. Like, we're not the center of the universe, guys. And I'm a Christian. I'm telling you. And they're like, no, that's not good enough. We're the center of the world.
Wasn't that Galileo?
I don't know, but I'm
Galileo.
pretty sure it was Copernicus. Well, no, I'm pretty sure it was Copernicus.
Oh, okay.
He did a lot of research on this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so what I mean is these were like Christian people.
Right.
Who were like, hey, look, I believe in God. This is proving that like he's
Right.
bigger than we could ever imagine. And like
Right.
isn't it so true? It's like we're so insignificant in this universe, but like it makes you realize, wow, God still loves me.
Right.
Like he did all
'Cause
this.
It's all so intricate, even for how small and insignificant we are.
Right. And it's like maybe we don't know anything.
Right.
Maybe we are the center of something and we don't know. It's like, okay,
Right.
we're not, but maybe we're the center of multiple universes or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like, and again, I'm not attacking anybody, but you're not here to defend yourself. But it sounds like a lot of people who are like pretty, feels more like I am perfectly okay not believing that I am that important in this world,
Right.
but knowing that God still, that's like the point,
Right.
and that God still is involved in our lives. It's kind of like this lesson. But also, if you look at like, and I don't know I hate saying flat earthers. I feel like that's just like a weird, bad thing to say.
How many flat earthers do you think are watching?
There's a lot.
There's a lot?
Yes. I don't know how to explain that to you, but there are way more than you think.
Okay.
I know it probably seems weird that I'm like you thought there was like none, and it's like these weird people on the internet. It's like, no, there's a lot.
Jordan, so what I've learned is that Jordan is not a flat earther, but he's afraid of offending the flat earth
Because
folks.
I love the sentiment. I love being the one who questions
sure.
this stuff.
Sure,
So I
sure.
love the attitude.
Sure.
I love the energy, but I feel like it's just misguided.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to somebody. Like, legitimately, I would love to. And I do know one that I don't know, but a friend knows him, and he's like, "Dude, you should talk to this guy." And I was like, "That'd be great." They live like an hour plus
All right.
away, so. But you know, if you also look at like the neutron and the electrons going around, it's a solar system. It's a small
Right.
solar system. Like everything is that. So I'm curious if flat Earth people believe that, because from my knowledge, it's like flat Earth is basically saying, if I can't personally do a scientific experiment on it, I will not believe it. Love the sentiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, again, it just feels misguided to me. And I'll just go back to if we're gonna believe the unbelievable,
Yeah. Right.
like, why not believe the one that like the Christians were like getting persecuted for back in the day, to like stick their necks out and be like, look, I'm going against the system. None of this is right, guys.
Right.
All right. And they like go to jail and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If we believed the flat Earth from the start, like we probably wouldn't have made a bunch of scientific discoveries and
Right.
done all this stuff, because we would have just been with like the elites who were like, we're the center, and like they didn't want to break that dogma because it like
Right.
enriched them and made them powerful. It's like, no, it was like the people who stood up to this.
Right.
So again, I love the sentiment, but it's
They would
lost
probably
on me.
say they're the ones being persecuted. They're the ones.
That's
that
right.
The establishment says no, the Earth is not flat. No, it is, and you're persecuting me.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But I see what you're saying too. I think that your
I just
explanation is more correct.
if you look at everything, if you look at how the whole war, I mean, we can make nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Like that's ripping atoms apart. That's ripping a solar system apart, and something happens.
Right.
Like something huge. So that has to be real. Doesn't it make sense that like the solar system would like look like that too? I mean, I don't know, but it's like, no, it's different. It's a different.
It's a strange hill to die on. I don't understand
It's
why people are so wedded to the idea.
Well, because it's the ultimate distrust in the government and in society. But
see.
it feels like to me, it's like, look, I get that. Like I am that way.
That's how I feel too. I'm like,
But what they have to realize
Yeah.
is the bad guys, they're out there, like the bad scientists out there who are controlling the narrative. They don't know. They're just making stuff up to make people out there feel like we're insignificant. Like
I see.
That we came from nothing out of the ground, and we were just like we just like came out of the ocean and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, dude, you know what I mean? I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is they're hijacking the thought that we're really insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they're like taking it to like an extreme of like, no, like we weren't created. We weren't, and we all evolved from fish. And so we really mean nothing. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
So what I mean is like, you can believe that we're insignificant in the universe, but I actually don't believe that. I think we just don't know enough. I think that we're actually more significant than we can really even imagine in the whole grand scheme of the spiritual world and the grand scheme of like everything. But it feels like this, but the bad guys are the ones who are like trying to hijack that thought and really make it be like, no, we're really insignificant.
Right.
Whereas the people who were originally making these discoveries were like, we're insignificant, but like, this is crazy. Like, God's so real.
We're insignificant because the universe is ordered. It's orderly.
Right.
And this is how it's orderly.
Right.
Versus we're insignificant and the universe is chaotic and there's no... We don't know how things... You know what I mean? We don't know how this started. We don't know how it's going.
Right.
Even though we have evidence all around of an orderly system that controls everything.
I feel like I did a bad job of explaining this, but this has just been bouncing around my mind for so long
You
that
had
I'm
a lot
just
of
trying
thoughts to share.
You can
about
believe what the system believes, but the system is trying to like hijack that to make you believe way too much that you're insignificant.
This was an appeal to people who believe in flat Earth.
Message me on Twitter or Instagram or something. I would love to talk to you. I'm dead serious. I really would. I would really appreciate
Jordan
it.
really wants this. He needs this.
Yeah. All I can find is like some YouTube videos. I don't want to. Don't send me YouTube videos. I want to talk to you like logically about it. Okay, that would be great. All right, that was it. I don't know what I said.
Anytime someone has ever talked to me about flat Earth stuff, it was, please watch these videos.
Yes.
Anytime it was presented to me, that was how it was presented to me. So,
let's get to it. Gave me hope. I need it. Did I tell the story of my car breaking, like the belt snapping? Yes. Okay, well, did I tell this? No, because I just driven the car to your house because we fixed it.
Yeah.
Then when I left, after we filmed last week, the podcast, I left and drove home and it snapped again. The belt snapped again when I was like literally 6 houses down.
Dang.
And it snapped, and then the power steering one snapped. So I had to stop pretty quick because the engine was going to blow up because it was going to overheat way too much. So I pulled into this drive. I didn't know it. I was like, where? I mean, I know where I am, but it's like, dang, if I had just been able to throw it into neutral and come down my false flat, like I would have been able to coast home, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there. It's raining. And I'm like, what in the world, dude? This is horrible. And then this dude comes out, and I've never seen him before, but he's like my neighbor, and his name was Paul. And Paul also had a Miata, which is the car that messed up. And nothing too significant happened, but it was just nice. I met this neighbor who's lived there since before I was born. Talked for a long time about just what he did for work and stuff before he retired, and his kids and his grandchildren. I told him we're having a baby and stuff. And I don't know if I'm ever going to talk to him again, but he was like, if you ever need anything, just come down here. It's like, man, people are so nice. Like, I get so depressed because I'm walking around with these idiots at the grocery store, and it's like, dude, like, look at me. Like, nobody wants to talk to you until you talk to them, and then they're like, oh my, okay, everybody's awesome now. And it's like, but everyone's like so scared to like look at each other now.
Yeah, it's like why does it have to be on me to talk to everybody?
Why do I have to initiate everything?
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And so when I saw Paul, it was like, oh, okay, people are still normal.
Yeah.
Everyone's fine. They're just scared.
Everyone's
now.
got to go to the grocery store, okay? You're going to run into all kinds of people at the grocery store.
Oh.
All right.
So that was it.
Poor George.
Paul was great, though. Don't know his last name.
He said the whole last time we just... anyone, come talk to me. Message me. I would love to talk to you. And then this segment's like, everyone, they're all stupid.
At the store.
I have to be the one to talk to people at the grocery store.
Why is Jordan talking to people at the grocery store?
Yeah, he's like walking around the grocery store. I would love to talk to you. DM me, message me, come on the show.
Here's my handle. Oh, man. Yeah, so anyways, what is yours, Josh? Love versus like. Is this about our video?
Yeah, no. I was just thinking this week about how... Okay.
All that to say, I got the belt fixed and now it's working. It wasn't tightened enough.
That's good. I saw it out there. Yeah. I saw it out there, and I meant to ask you when I came back. I was like, is that thing running out there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's good. Well,
we'll find out if I blow up somewhere.
Down the road.
Anyways.
Yeah, so everything right now for me comes back to Slay the Spire.
Of course.
I'm really having an experience with this game right now. I
gotta get into
I put so many hours into it, and just the other day I was like, oh my gosh. And I discovered a whole new level of like the way you can play it. So now every time I play, instead of trying to add more cards to my deck, I'm trying to get rid of as many cards as possible. So I'm running through my deck in like 2 turns every time.
Josh has just
build those synergies.
Josh just like discovered castling and shit's like, you can castle?
You can flippy flop the pieces.
There's openings?
And save the king. if he's in a real bind. Anyways. But, I'm one of these idiots who... Oh, there's a new Humble Bundle. You get 10 games for $5. I'll get that. So I've got all these games in my Steam, But then I'm sitting there. I don't have much time to play video games anymore. But when I do, I'm playing Slay the Spire. And I feel kind of bad about it. I'm like, I got all these games I've bought over the years. And I'm just sitting here playing this one game I got on sale for $5.
Of course.
And it just occurred to me. I was like, it's better to love one thing than it is to like 1,000 things.
So true. That's going to go with my recommend.
There you go. It's like, and that helps you. That helps you become more of a minimalist. That helps you Marie Kondo your life and just say, does this spark joy in my life?
Exactly.
Slay the Spire, absolutely. Every other game, oh man, I wish I hadn't bought things digitally. I'd love to be able to sell them.
That is the thing about buying digitally. I never thought about that.
The only thing you can do is try to sell your Steam library, but then the person who buys it could get bricked.
Hack you.
No, they couldn't. Well, sure, I guess, but you could change your passwords and stuff. But the problem is that if Steam ever got a whiff of that, they'd brick it and it would be over.
Okay.
But then that's not on you. You already got paid, I guess. So if someone's willing to take the risk, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that, Gabe. Anyways. Gabe's the guy who runs Valve.
Oh, I got you. That makes sense, though. Buying just falling in love with one thing instead of having 50 billion things. Yeah, so
whether it's like, oh, I've seen it. Do I want to watch 1,000 movies, or do I just love the movies I love, or the board games? Is it so important that I try a bunch of different board games? Sure, there's a lot that come out, and I enjoy playing new games and stuff. But you know what? When you've got young kids and your wife, and you want to play a game, it's easier just to say, let's play one that we know really well, that we can get on the table real quick, play it, enjoy it, and be done. We don't have to sit here and learn something new. And that's okay,
Yeah, we've all been corrupted by Netflix to want to have more and more.
Right.
And when I bought that small TV, it's just like a DVD player. I had you would get me these DVDs for Christmas. It's like, oh, I can watch Slumdog Millionaire 1,000,000 times. I can watch Interstellar 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I can watch The Matrix 1,000,000 times. Like just the old days.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, all this stuff.
Jordan got this little small TV that's got a built-in DVD player, and so now forever, for his birthday or Christmas, I just go to Goodwill and just pick out DVDs for him. I give them to him for his
If you ever find Interstellar, I can never find it with the actual DVD in there. They're always stolen.
Yeah, I know. I look for you whenever I go.
I look every time.
I'll keep looking. There's a chance that that my copy has the DVD. And if it does, I'll just give it to you.
Oh,
I'll have to, we're going through our garage right now, so I'll take a look in there when I find that box. Anyways,
makes sense.
I feel like there should be more to that, but that was that was an encouraging, hopeful thing for me this week. Realizing it's okay to just it's okay to just love a few things, and not to feel like you're missing out because you didn't try the new hotness, or you didn't. Mm-hmm. You're not as cultured, or you people are talking about something new and you don't know enough about it. It's like that's
my whole life.
You can chase that freaking feeling all day, or you can just say, you know what, I'm selling all my possessions
And following God.
And following God and loving Slay the Spire.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. That game is really good. And the kids love it too. Literally all day, they just walk around saying, "Let's play Slay the Spire in real life." And they just play. They pretend like, "I play a 6 damage card on you. Do you have any block? I have 10 block. Okay, you have 4 block left." It's like it becomes math.
There you go. That's all we need.
That's what we do. Literally at our house, that's what we do all day. All right, that's it. It gave me hope.
Guys, we've got 1 minute 19 seconds left on this card. I'm going to do my recommend very quickly. We're going to cut out the show. Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour. Something I love. I don't like many CDs these days. That is honestly, I think that's my favorite CD of all time.
On the Playground that we listen to? Oh, that's a great CD.
I think that is literally my favorite CD of all time. It's better than Acid Eats Burn. It's better than anything. I'm telling you, I listen to that so much. It's scary how much I listen to that.
What's the cowboy song?
Space Cowboy?
Space Cowboy. You need Space Cowboy.
It's amazing.
It's a good song.
What is your recommend?
I watched for the first time this week the Oliver Stone movie Snowden. Was it a great movie? It was okay. It did a good job of telling the story of what happened. And it was clear they did a lot of research. But it's a wild freaking story, man, of what happened with that guy. And
I'll watch that.
He's a true hero. Now there's some stuff in it that is hard to recommend or whatever.
Of course.
But I'm not.
We have 10 seconds left.
Okay. It's got some stuff in it, okay? But it's a historical thing, okay? That happened in this world, and it's crazy.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.